Investigating Unit, the SIU, presented its interim SABC investigations report to Parliament's Portfolio Committee on Communications yesterday. So far, some of the report's findings confirm 3 irregular appointments with salary increases and 8 contracts that were awarded irregularly. The SIU found no evidence to support allegations of irregularities regarding the appointments of other officials. Court evidence has been gathered with draft charges on 38 matters, including civil litigation, 6 criminal referrals, and 23 disciplinary referrals. Advocate Andy Mothibi, the head of SIU, joins us from our Cape Town studios. Advocate, thank you very, very much for joining us. Welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning, Leanne, and good morning to the viewers and listeners. Thank you for the opportunity.
Oh, no, thank you for coming. Now, you last reported in February, the final report expected in May. We still waiting. Well, you know, there was a big hold-up. What was the cause of this hold-up?
You'll recall that when we started with the gathering of a whole lot of evidentiary material. And once the evidentiary material was gathered, we needed to then do the actual investigation. That took a while. And we had to also, through the powers contained in our legislation, through a whole lot of interviews. And those are formal interviews, akin to almost like a court hearing. And once we've done that, we were able to then make the findings with respect to some of the contracts that we were focusing at. And we were also able to make findings with regard to the appointments of staff. And hence we are at the stage where we are able to return these good findings and the good results on our part to make sure that every irregularity is identified.
So let's talk to the findings and the 3 names that were confirmed on this list as irregular appointments and salary increases by the SIU. We've got Tobekile Kumalo, Guga Duda, and Soli Motsweni. And as far as we know, as it stands right now, Soli Motsweni is the only one who's been charged out of the 3 of them. What's happened to the other 2? As we appeared yesterday, we did indicate that there's other matters that have been referred to the National Prosecuting Authority. Our colleagues, the acting director of National Prosecutions was with us as we presented. They did indicate that they are still considering the other matters that we have referred, and they will make decisions soon. So we are hoping that we should be able, the next time we report, that a decision has been taken either way, to prosecute or not to prosecute by the NPA. Yeah.
But our referral, which is one of the outcomes of the investigations, when we refer these matters to the National Prosecuting Authority, we refer with the relevant evidentiary material. So our hope is that the NPA will take decisions to prosecute.
So when we see the report basically saying that they can't find other irregularly appointed officials, does that close the case? No more investigations into any other irregular appointments at the SABC or anything else? So as we stand right now, there are only 3 individuals that are being highlighted.
The point that we are making, that we couldn't find irregularities with regard to the appointments of the others, which we couldn't name at that stage, is that those others have been appointed in accordance with the policies of the SABC. Okay. The appointment is one, but you remember, the investigation focuses on various irregularities. If we find that they have been involved in other irregularities relating to procurement or any other irregularity, we will then ensure that they are named and they are acted upon. And those could be along the lines of civil recovery if they have caused losses to the corporation, and if there are any evidence relating to criminal action on their part, as I indicated, that we will refer it to the NPA for prosecution.
Yeah. If we look at some of the
those that have been brought before the courts. We've spoken Solly Motsweni appearing in court. We've only seen her.
Yes.
There are court papers out for Claudia Motsweneng. Surely these can't be the only ones. And where do we stand with Claudia Motsweneng?
Right, as we reported yesterday, with Mr. Motsweneng, we are already in court, in the High Court in Gauteng, and the papers have been served. What's legally referred to as the pleadings, which really refers to some of the paper documentation before court. The parties look at those claims and the particulars and the lawyer's advice. We indicated yesterday that Mr. Motsweneng's legal team representing him took up some of the legal exceptions, which we are addressing. Those are some of the legal technicalities that gets raised in the process. There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody has to ensure that they are legally in a position to take up their matters in court. So we have addressed all of that. Unfortunately, we have to align ourselves with the court roles and hence the length of the process. But we should be at the right time when allocated by the court be able to present our matter in court.
Okay.
But our claim still stands, which is the 11 million relating to the so-called success fees in negotiating the multi-choice contract, and the other part, which is the 10 million relating to the irregular appointments and some of the unlawful salary increases that were refactored.
I am going to pause this interview for now. We unfortunately have to go to news. Advocate, I know you have a flight to catch, but you've kindly agreed to just stay on a little bit so we can wrap this up. Thank you very, very much. So I'll just ask you to sit tight. We're going to get the news to our viewers. That's Advocate Andy Mothibi. He's the head of SIU, joining us from our Cape Town parliamentary studios and talking about these updates that are done by the unit on SABC investigations so far. So let's pause that. Get you your news at 7, and then we'll continue the interview.